Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a massive defense project that is absolutely shaking up the security landscape in Southeast Asia. This isn't just your standard arms procurement, it's a historic geopolitical chess move by Indonesia that could permanently alter the balance of power in the region. Just imagine this. One of our neighboring countries is poised to become one of the first nations in Asia to operate both an aircraft carrier and a fleet of the world's most advanced stealthy jet-powered combat drones. Well, it's officially happening. Indonesia just signed a major deal to acquire the Bayraktar Kizilelma unmanned combat aircraft from Turkey. Today, we're going to break down exactly why Indonesia is making such a bold move, what makes this drone an absolute game changer, and how this will impact the surrounding superpowers. Buckle up because we've got a lot of heavy-hitting intel to cover. The genesis of this massive shakeup took place at the Saha 2026 Defense Expo in Istanbul. Baykar, the globally recognized drone manufacturer, struck a historic agreement with PT Republik Aero Dirgantara, better known as Republic Corp, an Indonesian defense firm. But this isn't just about buying hardware off the shelf. The contract lays out the acquisition of one initial squadron, 12 units of the cutting-edge Bayraktar Kizilelma jet-powered UCAVs, with deliveries slated to begin in 2028. More importantly, the framework includes options for 4 additional squadrons. If Jakarta exercises those options, they will be fielding an incredibly formidable fleet of up to 60 of these advanced combat drones. But the real kicker here isn't just the sheer number of aircraft. If we look under the hood of this contract, the Indonesian government's long-term vision becomes crystal clear. They aren't just buying weapons to show off. This deal includes deep technology transfer, the establishment of local manufacturing and maintenance facilities, and direct training and certification for Indonesian engineers. This is a strategic investment in self-reliance. It paves the way for Indonesia to maintain and eventually produce high-end military tech on its own soil, perfectly reflecting a national strategy to elevate their domestic defense industry to Western standards. Jakarta's relationship with Baykar didn't just happen overnight. Indonesia has consistently proven its faith in Turkish defense technology. They've already purchased the combat-proven Bayraktar TB2, entered into joint ventures to produce the massive Akinji drone locally, and secured the carrier-capable TB3. The Kizilelma order is essentially the final puzzle piece, completing Indonesia's military ecosystem. It marks a massive leap from propeller-driven surveillance platforms into the era of jet-powered combat drones that can go toe-to-toe with traditional fighter jets. So why does Indonesia need something this advanced? The answer lies in the persistent rumors, which are looking more like facts, that Indonesia has secured the light aircraft carrier Giuseppe Garibaldi, recently retired by the Italian Navy. When you put these two pieces together, the picture is undeniable. Indonesia is building a dedicated drone carrier fleet, mirroring Turkey's own success with the TCG Anadolu. Operating the Kizilelma from an aircraft carrier allows Indonesia to project maritime power far across the region, completely shattering the geographic limitations of land-based airfields. Let's break down what makes the Kizilelma such an absolute beast, and why it's dubbed the drone of the future. The Kizilelma isn't just an RC plane with a camera. It is an unmanned fighter aircraft designed to execute missions traditionally reserved for 5th-generation manned fighters. Powered by a jet engine, it boasts a maximum takeoff weight of 8.5 tons and can carry a 1.5-ton payload of advanced sensors and weaponry. The airframe is aerodynamically designed for a low radar cross-section, giving it distinct stealth characteristics. Furthermore, it houses its munitions inside an internal weapons bay, ensuring it remains virtually invisible on radar while penetrating deep into hostile territory. The true beating heart of the Kizilelma, and what makes it incredibly lethal, is its electronic brain and sensor suite. The drone is equipped with an advanced AESA radar developed by Turkey's Aselsan, granting it exceptional long-range, high-precision targeting. And in a move that recently sent shockwaves through the defense community, the Kizilelma successfully test-fired a Beyond Visual Range, or BVR, air-to-air missile. Using a Gokdagon missile, it engaged and destroyed a simulated target over the Black Sea. This was a historic milestone. It proved that this combat drone can autonomously hunt and destroy aerial targets using its own onboard sensors without needing target data relayed from another aircraft.
To give you the clearest picture of the sheer capability and the financial scale of this mega deal, I've broken down the in-depth specs and the rough order of magnitude, or ROM, pricing in this table. Let's take a look at the details together. Looking at these specs, it's obvious that the Kizilelma is purpose-built to plug the gaps in modern aerial warfare. With a 500 nautical mile combat radius and the ability to cruise at Mach 0.9, it can reach contested airspaces rapidly and strike with lethal precision. When we move down to the pricing, you can really see the financial brilliance of the Indonesian military strategy. The estimated flyaway cost is roughly 15 to 20 million US dollars per unit. That is a massive bargain when you compare it to the astronomical price tags of manned 4th or 5th generation fighter jets. As for the total project value, we have to note that during the signing, neither Indonesia nor Baykar released the official budget figures. Those remain classified. However, defense analysts estimating the rough order of magnitude for the initial Phase 1 order of 12 units, factoring in tech transfer, the MRO facilities, and weapons packages, put the starting figure at around 400 million US dollars. But here is where it gets globally significant. If Indonesia fully exercises its options to procure all 60 units and spins up domestic production lines, experts unanimously agree this deal will easily blast past the $1 billion mark. An investment of that scale highlights a long-term commitment to self-sufficiency, ensuring they can produce and maintain these drones without being entirely reliant on foreign suppliers. When you talk about jet-powered combat drones in this tier, you inevitably have to compare it to its Western rival, the Boeing MQ-28 Ghostbat, developed out of Australia, which is gaining massive traction in the Pacific. Pitting the Kizilelma against the Ghostbat is essentially a clash of two entirely different combat philosophies. The Ghostbat is built fundamentally around the loyal wingman concept. It's designed to fly in formation and take direct orders from primary manned fighters like the F-35 or F-18, acting as their eyes and ears and absorbing the risk so the human pilot doesn't have to. The Kizilelma, on the other hand, was born from a much more aggressive and ambitious philosophy. Baykar designed it to be an independent unmanned fighter aircraft. It doesn't need to play sidekick to anyone. It can be tasked to penetrate deep behind enemy lines, patrol, hunt, and eliminate aerial threats completely on its own, relying on its internal AESA radar and BVR missiles. This operational independence is exactly why Indonesia jumped at it. They don't operate a fleet of 5th-gen F-35 stealth fighters to pair with a loyal wingman drone. Therefore, a highly capable autonomous platform like the Kizilelma fits Indonesia's tactical doctrine far better. Another fascinating aspect of this procurement, and frankly a masterclass for other ASEAN nations, is Indonesia's art of geopolitical balancing. If you track their arms acquisitions over the past few years, you'll see the ultimate risk diversification strategy. They refuse to put all their eggs in one basket or align entirely with a single superpower bloc. They've signed on to Turkey's 5th-gen Khan fighter, bought French Rafales, are planning to import Chinese J-10s, and they still maintain their partner status in South Korea's KF-21 Boromei program. Adding the Kizilelma to their arsenal just reinforces that Indonesia wants maximum technological diversity, cherry-picking the absolute best capabilities from every defense bloc to serve their national interests. But let's cut right to the core. What specific threat is forcing Indonesia to arm up this heavily and this fast? The undeniable answer is the boiling tension in the South China Sea, specifically around the Natuna Islands. This area falls squarely within Indonesia's exclusive economic zone and is incredibly rich in natural gas and fisheries, yet it overlaps with China's expansive 9-line claims. We've seen countless reports of Chinese Coast Guard and armed maritime militia vessels aggressively loitering in these waters. Relying solely on land-based fighter jets means Indonesia might not scramble fast enough, or their jets simply won't have enough fuel to loiter and apply pressure on station. But Indonesia's tactical playbook is about to flip completely. Picture this, the Giuseppe Garibaldi aircraft carrier floating in contested waters, acting as a mobile airbase, launching stealthy Kizilelma drones into the sky.
The terrifying advantage here is that these drones don't have human pilots. They don't suffer from fatigue, stress, or G-force limitations. They can loiter and run surveillance over the disputed zones for hours on end. If an incursion is detected, the Kizilelma can lock on, stream high-res intel back to command in real time, and if things go critical, it is fully authorized to engage and execute decisive air interdiction. In military terms, they are creating a mobile A2AD, or anti-access area denial bubble, right in the middle of the ocean to stop anyone from easily encroaching on their territory. Beyond deterring outside superpowers, this move is sending shockwaves through the regional balance of power. Think about it. While several neighboring countries are struggling with defense budgets or are bogged down waiting to replace aging fleets with standard fourth-generation fighters, Indonesia is leapfrogging directly into a sixth-generation force structure. They are pivoting to a network-centric warfare model utilizing swarms of stealth drones. This places immense pressure on regional players like Singapore and Australia, who will now have to rapidly upgrade their own defense networks. It's psychological warfare on a grand scale, loudly declaring that the new Indonesian armed forces are ready for multi-domain combat and possess technology that is second to none in the South Pacific. But ultimately, this deal between Indonesia and Baykar isn't just some distant foreign news. It is a glaring wake-up call that the era of drone-centric warfare is already here. The nations that adapt quickly and are willing to invest heavily in tech transfers like Indonesia are undoubtedly going to emerge as the strategic leaders in this region. But what do you guys think? Will the Kizilelma outpace Western drones like the MQ-28 Ghost Bat? And how should other nations prepare for this new wave of unmanned threats? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going. If you enjoy deep dives into military tech and geopolitics, make sure you hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on. I'll be bringing you the hottest defense updates from around the globe every single day. That's all for today. I'm Mix, and I'll see you in the next one.